All right. Amazing, unlimited beings. This is the third video in the Accelerating Your Ascension series. How's everybody doing out there at this exciting time? You excited? You triggered? You frustrated? Are you observing? I'm going to talk about how we can free ourselves from dismantling all these triggers and limiting beliefs that we were taught and that most of us have been running since childhood. What is a trigger? A trigger is any automatic reaction that does not come from love, joy, kindness, compassion, or excitement. Basically, what comes from the heart. And so, in this 3D illusion that we're currently in right now, this exciting, wonderful journey that we chose to come down here and be a part of right now as part of our soul contract, separation is one of the greatest illusions. Everything's out there. And it's a very realistic illusion, but it's a wonderful, wonderful training ground and one of the most incredible and adventurous roller coaster rides that we could have ever chosen, which is why we chose it. Because an unlimited, sovereign, divine being that can do anything, be anywhere at any time, manifest anything, why would we choose to come down here? Unless it was going to be one of the most mind-blowing, exciting, and challenging adventures that we could ever go on in the universe. Also, we knew that by coming down here and playing our role and sharing our own unique gifts at this time, that we would do something that's never been done before down here. And that is to be able to ascend up into the higher vibrational dimensions while still being in our human body. How amazing and exciting is that? And before I get into this, this is a Q&A. So this isn't all about me just flapping my gums. If you have questions, please post them in the comments. This is a non-judgmental container. And so usually the first person that posts a question, everybody else feels safe to go, oh, okay, we can engage now. Happens every time. So if you have questions, please feel free to post it in. And without further ado, let's jump in. So how to free ourselves through dismantling triggers. This is one of the most powerful parts of what I share with people when I journey with them or through the Waking Up in the Dream process, the book or the online course. The ego doesn't really like it in the beginning because the ego has been taught to defend its judgments, its automatic reactions, its projections of what somebody did or what somebody's doing out there. And as a result, because we are magnetic beings, we end up attracting more of those timelines of whatever we judge, of whoever we condemn, of anyone that we haven't forgiven yet, because it's built into our Ascension program as part of our soul and our higher self that we'll keep receiving the same opportunities to overcome and clear these wounds, these traumas, and these judgments and separations. So the number one question is, are we committed to ascending with this incredible opportunity in this lifetime? And if the answer is yes, then the only logical path is to begin to clear these lower vibrational triggers, judgments, separation, distorted projections. And the reason why is because these things don't exist in 5D and beyond. It's clean, it's clear, it's neutral, it's love, it's the higher frequencies. There is no judgment, there is no separation, there is no hatred, there is no condemning other people. There is no need to forgive because everything's already been forgiven. So, does anybody have any questions around that? If you do, post them in the comments, please. It helps everybody. So these triggers or automatic reactions, and judgment is the biggest addiction on the planet by far, way beyond drugs and alcohol or, addictions to food or whatever. Judgments are automatics, and they are the result of not understanding who we are and how the program works. So the key is to get committed to clearing this stuff. And the reason that you're here, if you're listening to any of this on the replay or you're live, is because you chose intentionally to be here at this incredible time. And you also chose everything that's happened in your reality is part of your agreed upon soul contract. And I've shared this many times. When teachers have shared this with me, my response was, there's no way that I would have chosen all this pain and suffering and to go through all this crap. There's no way. And I said that for probably 10 or 20 or 30 years until that wasn't serving me anymore. And I went, okay, I guess I'll listen to these downloads that I've been receiving and these teachings that have come through books and videos and other people in conversations. People that seem to be happy and really content and had a higher level of conscious awareness than I did. And sometimes it would trigger Larry, my ego. If you haven't named your ego yet, I invite you to do it because it will allow you to really see the programs that it runs. And only when we can see a program can we dismantle it. Otherwise, Larry or our ego will justify it every time because in the beginning, it desires to be in its false sense of control and it's living in fear. And it hasn't learned that by being 100% authentic and vulnerable, will it ascend into higher timelines and clear these old wounds and traumas that all of us have. It's part of coming in to this lower dimensional reality. Just being born in a human body is traumatic. Then getting hung upside down and getting whacked on the ass. Then being given right away before you leave the hospital. And then for men in certain religions, they circumcise the penis, which is one of the most traumatic things that could ever happen to anyone. And it's been proven that the brain gets so traumatized that it does not go back to its original state. So yeah. So congratulations, high five to everybody that chose to be here. So the question is, are you committed basically to putting yourself under a microscope, to willing to be vulnerable enough to go, okay, I'm willing to look at every trigger, every judgment. I'm willing to own them because I know if I don't, I'm just going to keep attracting more into my reality. And many of you that may have seen my posts or lives or YouTube channel have heard me say, I used to be a judgeaholic. I was taught to be that in private Catholic schools where every day was Judgment Day. The nuns were angry and pissed off. This is starting when I was 7 years young. This was part of my soul contract so that I could see that programming of obeying people above you, being obedient, never questioning anything. My best friend and I used to always be in trouble, but we were straight A and B students because we questioned everything, because we could feel the frequency was off. It was inverted. And we could feel that the nuns that dedicated their lives to what they thought was love turned out to be completely manipulated in so many cases. And they talk about when you die, you'll be lucky on Judgment Day if you get into heaven. What a bullshit manipulative program to keep people in fear and separation, hoping that God's going to throw us a bone. Come on, God wouldn't do that. Any questions around how do I heal triggers? How do I heal my automatic reactions? This is good stuff. If you ask a question, it's not about you. You're asking it for the entire collective, and it's going to help a lot of people if you have the courage to ask that. So I would be surprised if nobody has a question around ascending, healing, clearing triggers, clearing judgments. And we got to do it. We signed up for it. The great news is the more that you're willing to do it and be accountable, everything in your reality is going to shift. You're going to begin to attract more abundance in your life, more abundance of incredible, heart-centered, consciously aware people, where you're just going to start having more aha moments, more clarity, lightness in your body, peace, connection, deeper connections in relationships, deeper connections with Mother Earth and the animals. And it's just going to keep elevating and elevating and elevating. And I'll tell you, I've been doing this, using these tools for 24 years now. I still have triggers. I still catch judgments, but I catch them immediately because I've been working the process. I stop immediately. Anytime I have a judgment, a trigger, a less than thought, a thought about lack, a thought about fear, I stop. Because if you don't, the ego is going to justify it, or it's going to find a way to distract itself on media or in videos or eating or drinking or smoking or whatever it is, so it doesn't have to feel the uncomfortableness of that trigger. And it's going to defend it. And in the beginning, it's going to claim that it's somebody else's fault out there. So as a result, it'll loop, and the opportunity and that drama or that fear or that judgment or those doubts or those lacks will keep showing up. It can be frustrating in the beginning, but it's a very beautiful thing, because guess what? Your ascension is guaranteed 1,000,000%. But not until you go, okay, I'm committed. I'm committed. I'm inspired by these other people that are out here sharing these things. Some things resonate with my heart. Some things I'm not sure about. So the key is to question everything. Even if it comes from the guru that you think is the highest, most, elevated person. Question everything, because this is your journey, not to just follow what other people tell you, and not me either. That's why this book is set up for you to question every single thing. And when you go through the checklist every day, the daily tracking sheet, you're like, oh, wow, I'm seeing these programs and spell words that I'm using like this now. And you may not notice it while you're in it, but when you look back even 30 days later, 6 months later, you'll go, I'm not even the same person. I may still have a trigger, I may still have a judgment, I may still have a fear, but I catch them immediately, and I go in and I stop and I breathe and I drop into my heart. Because if I don't, that trigger is an emotional hit in the body. And the mind's just going to run. They did this. They're always doing that. How come money's so scarce? How come other people have money and I don't? Or whatever it is. I'm sure many of you out there are highly abundant. And if you are, it's because you may have grown up in a family where money was just easy. So your belief is, money's easy. Why do other people have problems with it? I grew up in the opposite situation, which was, again, part of my soul contract. When my dad died, my mom went into heavy fear, which is totally normal, and was very, very worried and scared. And my uncle, who is my dad's brother, felt responsible for part of my upbringing, and he had 8 kids and only 1 boy. And my cousin Steve went through hell. And my uncle, they were always talking about lack. Always talking about lack. So I downloaded that. It was part of my agreement. And it took me a long time to go, wow, I'm surrounded by abundance. Everywhere I look, there's abundance. I've got a bed, I got running water, I got clothes, I've got water containers, I've got guitars, I've got Tibetan bells, I've got microphones, I've got access to the internet, I've got access to people all over the world. I step out my door here in northern Thailand and there's nothing but abundance in nature and thousands of dragonflies and butterflies and dogs and cats and trees and mangoes, and abundance is everywhere. But if you don't begin to run the gratitude program, that untrained ego will resort back to, I still don't have enough. And it'll usually revolve around lack of money or lack of health. So these are the tools to practice every single day. And it's easy. This is what should have been taught in school. And of course, there's a reason why it wasn't, and a reason why people had to go to obedience training for 12 to 16 years to obey those in authority. It was all perfectly set up by people that had all of their DNA, while we were operating with 2 strands. Maybe some of you were operating with more. I don't know how many strands I'm operating with, but I believe we started out with 2. So this is what should have been taught and will be taught and is beginning to be taught in the newer schools. If you were taught as a child, or you teach your children from the earliest age how to consciously and intentionally create their reality every day, and here's the thing, they already know how to do it. It's called imagination, feeling, and excitement and curiosity. But guess what? As soon as you put them into the school system that was created by the ROCKEFELLERS, which is crumbling now, all of that imagination, the goal was to squash that immediately. Get them to sit down, shut up, and then we got taught what to think instead of how to think. Okay, so we got 9 or 10 people on here, maybe more, I don't know. Does anybody have a question around any of this? Or do you guys already totally get this? You're consciously creating your reality first thing every morning. As soon as you awaken and your head's on the pillow, before you begin running those 50 to 80,000 thoughts that are going to run every single day until you dismantle them. Anybody here have any difficulty manifesting money or health or the most incredible awake and aware partner that you can go really, really, really deep with and share your deepest fears or vulnerabilities so you can clear them together in a safe space without any judgment, without any triggers, without raising your voice on your partner or going, that's just the way my partner is. But I'm going to stay in this relationship because I don't know if I can do any better. That's the 3D program. That's basically saying, I don't know if I'm worthy enough to have the highest level partner on the planet that sees me, loves me, mirrors me, calls me forward, uplifts me, allows me to speak my truth without judgment. No questions around any of this? Awesome. You guys are amazing. So if you're really aware and paying attention right now, you know that your only job right now is to raise your frequency, heal any discordant energies, wounds, or trauma, and raise the collective vibration. That's job number 1. Now, you may have children or animals or a job, but really when it comes down to it, the job unless you absolutely 100% love what you're doing, it's just a survival program. So I would ask myself, hi, Diane, great to see you. Thank you for being here and sharing all your wisdom and wonderful energy with the planet. Sending you lots of love. So, does anybody here still have any issues with manifestation? I'm still learning every day. Here's one key, one big key. I would write this down. I would take notes around these tools, because the ego will go, yeah, that's pretty good. That sounds good. And then it'll go right back to the 50,000 dominating thoughts and programs that are running underneath the surface that have been running for decades. Unless we dismantle and commit to dismantling the programs, the triggers, the judgment, the separation, the lack of self-worth, or maybe lack of self-love. That was a huge one for me. I'm still dismantling being good enough, because I got slammed by my uncle and some other people. And it was part of my soul contract, so I could learn how to undo it and then share this stuff with other people. But every time I do one of these, I'm really doing it to speak to Jeff, to remind him. And I have a simple program I run every single day now. And I get to journey with these amazing clients that are hungry. And they're like, I'm ready. I have a little bit of fear, and I'm not sure what's going to happen when we go through this journey for 30 days or 90 days or whatever, but I'm ready, because it's been eating at me for decades. And I'm going to follow my intuition and my heart. And I have a desire to do this, or this, because it's my passion, but I haven't yet been able to turn it into my source of abundance because I didn't know how to do it. That's what I love assisting people in doing. And for anybody out there that's already doing it, then you're assisting others in doing it as well. And thank you for that. So, again, are you committed to ascending in this incarnation? And if you are, and I don't know why you wouldn't be, then these are the tools. And they're so simple, children can do them. Seriously. You wake up, you love on your body, you talk to your cells. I play with reversing aging. I play with things that most people don't believe, because here's the deal. The belief system for most people, if you're willing to be honest, it's a very tiny prison. All of our beliefs came from sources outside of ourselves. And in order to feel safe, we agree with the other people so we don't make waves and stand out and get judged or persecuted, because we've all been persecuted in other lives for speaking our truth, burned at the stake, murdered, whatever. I don't remember my past lives yet, but I was told by somebody I was murdered in my last life for speaking the truth. And I'm definitely speaking my truth in this lifetime. And it's changed my life, because otherwise I'm enslaved heavily. And I will not agree to that ever, 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 ever. I see the programs running with the current government, the current money system, science, history. It's all been inverted, all of it. And until we're willing to admit that, we're enslaved. Stuff's being exposed. It's a wonderful, wonderful, and exciting time to be alive right now. We knew that this would happen, which is why we're here. Hey, brother, great to see you. Okay, I'll post a link. I think there's a link in there, but I'll post one in there. And yeah, man, you print out this tracking sheet, and it's just so simple. And like I said, even children can do it. People have gone through my course, and they've had children that are maybe, whoops, that's the wrong one. I'm going to delete that. Sorry. So while I'm popping this in here real quick, Does anybody have a question? Just to open it up. There's no judgment around this. You know, I used to go to these weekends with one of my mentors back in 2001. We'd do 3-day weekends where we just lock in and Don Miguel Ruiz would speak and tell stories. And there were certain weekends when I had questions because I'm like, all my stuff's coming up. But I was afraid to ask the question for fear of what other people might think or judge me. And really, I was just judging Jeff. Nobody else was judging me. And the weekends where I would ask the question, I would leave that weekend so high. And the weekend, if I didn't ask the question, I would leave and go, you gave into your fear. And you had an opportunity to ask a question and be in a really safe environment and be mirrored and get an answer that would free you, and you didn't. So I'm not saying anybody out there is doing that. However, I did it. And so, yeah. So anyway, I think this comment's up a little further, but here it is. The book contains a daily tracking sheet, and yeah. So anyway, thanks for showing up, brother. I see you out there, and I'm grateful to be connected. Okay. Anybody have any questions? I'll stay on longer or not. I mean, whatever you guys want to do, but I've shared enough to really open it up here. Anybody have any questions around how to do inner healing? Anybody have any questions around true forgiveness? Hey, brother, great to see you. Thank you for everything you're sharing out there. Greg's a great person to tune into as well. He's got some great tools, a beautiful heart, and I love tuning into his posts as well. So thanks for showing up, brother. Appreciate it a lot. Any questions? Okay, so I guess I'm going to end it then. Here's the website. If anybody would like to tune in, the book's half price. The online course, which contains the PowerPoint training so you can really see what the ego does. And it's done in text, images, and my narration, because different people dismantle or download information differently. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My inbox is always open. If you're interested in doing a 30-day or 90-day mentorship with me, I'm happy to get on a free call with you. No obligation. I've learned. Oh, yeah, I popped it in right up there. It's portal2awakening.com. And then there'll just be 3 simple, this is what shows up when you land there. So you can click on the book, Journeying with Me, one-on-one, or the, yeah. Oh, thank you for the kind reflection. I really appreciate that. That keeps me going. It's really, the people that show up, the people that I've met, most of my deepest connections right now are with people I've never met in person. And I really look forward to meeting them. And I intend on doing some traveling and, doing one-on-one, really where we're immersed. And we've got great music and healthy food, and we're in these incredible nature environments. And we'll do my best to make it affordable to everybody. And it's just starting to open up. I haven't been down with going through airports and body scanners. Don't ever go through a body scanner. You can opt out. The radiation that comes from those things, it's not good. So anyway, I appreciate all of you. And if you feel like any of your friends, thank you, Diane. I love you too. If you feel like anybody would benefit, hey, there's Elaine. Hi, Elaine. I see 3 squares. I'm going to intend that those are all hearts and smiles. If you feel, okay, so here's the deal to sum it all up. We're all here to raise our vibration and the vibration of the collective. All the tools are here. Yes, it can be uncomfortable looking at your stuff, looking at your triggers, healing wounds, figuring out how to heal, because nobody really taught us how to do it. The number one key, I'll leave you with this, is forgiveness. Why? Because every single person that you feel that did something to you was playing their role on your agreed upon soul contract. And I know when I tell certain people that have maybe been sexually abused or raped, or I have a lot of people that I journey with, and these are the things. But I'll tell you what, if you've had something really intense happening to you, you chose it because you agreed to help clear that for the collective. So I give you all my love and high five. I see you. But here's the deal around forgiveness. I saw somebody post a comment the other day that went, "I'll forgive you, but I'll never forget." That means I'm not really 100% forgiving you. How can you tell if you've truly forgiven somebody? Because you can thank them for perfectly playing their part in your soul's evolution. Just sit with it. You don't have to thank them right away. If you're like, I'm not going to thank somebody that harmed me and, assaulted me, or, I understand. But if you're willing to look at the truth, which is, I chose that as part of my soul contract, even if you don't remember. I don't remember writing my soul contract, but that's your get out of hell free card. So again, big, big love to everybody. And if you feel like anybody that you know may be struggling, you can invite them, if these tools resonate, to watch this. And also where's my YouTube link? I can't find it right now. I'll just type it in. It's youtube.com/ just like my website, portal to awakening. And I know there's lots of things that are vying for our attention right now on social media. It's easy, and I do it too. It's like I'm scrolling for something that's going to give me that hit. Well, I'll tell you what, if you spend some time taking notes with all of these free videos on my YouTube channel, you'll start to shift things. And again, are you willing to put yourself under a microscope? Because if you're not, I don't know what to tell you. Our vulnerability in being 100% honest is our greatest strength. It will clear and heal everything. And if you're here to lead, if you're an entrepreneur or an artist or a parent or somebody that's going, something, I just have this hit, it's built in that I desire to share this with the world, and you're not sure how to do it, reach out and get on a free call with me. You'll learn something. I'm not going to try and talk you into journeying with me, because I do not enjoy pulling people uphill that are not 100% in. But if you're in, we'll have fun. It's not pain and suffering. That lie of no pain, no gain, that's a 3D suffering program that was created by those that wanted to keep you suffering and feeding off your energy. You can have fun being curious like a little child and undoing programs and wounds, because I do it all the time with people. I'm gentle, but I will mirror you quick, because your story will tell me everything. Well, maybe not everything, but you will begin to see and dismantle programs on the very first day. Thank you. I'm doing it for Jeff too. I have to. I'm not interested in coming back and doing another round of this. Although, maybe I will. I don't know. I never say never. Never. Because I don't know. We don't know anything. Our belief system, our beliefs wouldn't even fit on the head of a pin. And when you get this realization, you'll go, oh my God, if I'm willing to be honest with myself, I really know nothing. And when you can get that honest, then you're open to everything, all these timelines, all of this stuff that is you already, all these other dimensions. It's you. But you must believe that you can do it. You must believe I can reverse my aging. I can heal anything. I can elevate my frequency. I can share my unique gifts, and people are going to love it. Because even if I'm not sure and I'm a little bit afraid, every time I go to do a live, I get my notes together and, all my images. And then I get ready to go hit the go live button. And I'm like, am I ready? Am I ready? Am I ready? Every single time. And after doing that for about 3 to 5 minutes, I just go, just hit live, dude. Because every time you go live and you're in your heart, it works. It's going to come out. Your gifts are going to come out as long as they're from the heart. So I experience fear. I experience doubt, but I catch it right away. And that's the key. Got to be able to see the program in order to dismantle it. Otherwise, the ego will just keep justifying it and blaming something else outside, which is a total lie because it's a mirror for ourselves and the collective. And you're just going to keep doing that over and over and over and over. Because the oversoul knows that you're going back to what you already are. You are a divine, unlimited being. You're all of it. Our mind can't even come close to processing how magnificent we are. And our mind also cannot come close to understanding how much we are loved. And I play with this every day. I'm like, I know I'm loved because I can feel it. And I do my best to love on Jeff every day, even though I'm still tending to be a little bit hard on him, still wondering if I'm good enough. Yeah. I'm willing to get naked with you guys. I mean, hypothetically speaking or whatever. You have to be. We have to be willing to put ourselves under a microscope. And when you do it with like-minded people, you're going to see that those people are not judging you. The only people that judge you are intimidated or triggered by your vulnerability and your willingness to be 100% authentic. And then we bless those people. We don't need to judge them. They're doing their own healing thing. It's really, when you really get clear on how this works, then you go, it's really simple. Do I wake up every morning and go into gratitude? Do I love on my body for loving me ever since I was in the womb? Do I create my reality and anything I desire, and I see it and I feel it 100%, like a little kid on Christmas or on his birthday, and I see it as already here now, never in the future. And in the book, the last chapter, the bonus chapter, is on spell words. The words to eliminate and the words to put in their place. So eliminate. Even the most spiritual people that I talk to, they're all using spell words in their conversation without realizing it. And I know spelling, most words are spell words. However, there's 9 that are the number 1 spell words that almost everybody uses, and they don't even realize it. And the reason why it would be very beneficial for them to realize it is because they're telling their subconscious every single time that their desire is still not here yet, or that it's hard or difficult. So the subconscious can only take a direct order. So it goes, okay, that desire is still not here yet, or let's make it hard or difficult. And those 9 spell words are want, wish, hope, need, try, should, going to, hard, and difficult. Want, wish, need, try, should, going to, hard, difficult. I left out one on the repeat, but yeah, you begin to eliminate those and replace them with I am. I have. It's done. And you wake up every morning and go, oh my God, I'm so blessed. Every day just rolled into magic and miracles and synchronicities every day. It just kept getting better and better and better. Every day just kept becoming more and more magical. You see what I'm doing here? It's already done. It's already done. I am abundance. It's everywhere. I'm surrounded by it. So I can give it away. I can go feed the dogs every day. I can spend $200 a week on medication, which some weeks I do. Not to say how great I am. I get donations from amazing people that see what I'm doing just because I share my passion. And when you share your passion, you will begin to receive from people that resonate with your passion. So again, if any of this resonates and you're like on the edge and you're like, I'm ready to go all in, or I'm ready to go deeper, reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you. So big, big love. Share this with anybody that would love it. I was going to keep this short today, but here we are at 41 minutes. So there you go. There's a lot in here. If you put what I've shared here into practice, everything in your reality will shift. And thank you to everybody that's already doing it. You are my greatest inspirations. And have an amazing day, evening, wherever you're at. And big, big love. Thank you for showing up at this incredible time. All right. Here we go. See you on the next one. Oh, and if you want to sign up on the website with your email, then you'll automatically get these. I don't spam. It takes me a lot to put together an email. So I'm not like those coaches that send out an email every single frickin' day and just bombard you by numbers. That doesn't resonate with me. But if you'd like to get discounts and receive these transmissions, you may want to go and pop in your email. It's a pop-up that'll pop up after like 20 seconds. And again, thanks everybody. Send you big love and stay inspired.